Hi friends, have you ever found yourself so excited at a thrift store when you grab all your items to take home and resell online for a profit, only to second guess your life decisions down the road when those things never sell? Well, hi, my name is Maria and I have been there before as a part-time reseller that is always learning and growing in my reselling business. And one of the things I think is most important to do is to go back and kind of reflect and take a moment to say, okay, did I pick things up based on emotions? Did I pick things up based on hunches? Or did I pick things up based on smart reselling decisions that then ended up leading to a good profit in hopefully a short amount of time? I think that the best way to do that is just to go back to a previous haul or previous thrift trip and go through every single item and see a few months later what has sold, what didn't, what sold quickly, what took longer, what sold for a good value, and what did I only make a couple dollars on. So I picked out one specific thrift haul we did about 4 months ago on the channel, and we are going to run through every single item to see all of those things. What sold, what didn't, how much did I spend for it, and how much profit has it made me, or has it not yet sold? So with that, we're going to go through this haul right here. I'm going to show you the items from that haul as we are going through each one to give you a reminder of the items that I did pick up. Make sure you can see them as I'm giving you all of the details about them. So everything from this haul was listed at about the end of April. So now that I'm filming this, it is the first day of September. Happy fall, y'all. And so it's been about 4 months or so since this haul. I got 24 items. My cost of goods that day was $4.39. You will see that I picked up quite a few kids items, which is always a bit of a risk for me because I don't do as much kids items. So my knowledge there isn't always as great, but I'm thankful to say that I made some smart decisions, which we will get to. But my total amount spent for this haul is $116.50. So that's pretty big for just a quick Goodwill thrift trip. I usually don't do my great big hauls at Goodwills just because the prices are higher than some of the other thrift stores near me where I can have a lower cost of goods. They run discount days, things like that. So $116 at the racks for Goodwill for me is a lot. 24 items in one trip is a lot. So with that means it's a risk of, am I going to make that money back and am I going to make profit? So let's dig into it. So although most things I got in this haul are clothes, I found 2 really good pairs of shoes. These were in a new cart where they put new shoes before they can get them out on the floor. And I scored 2 pairs of Fly London shoes, and both of them were brand new with tags. I love selling Fly London, so that was a really good day, really good find for me. The first were a pair of Yebby red suede booties. These ended up selling full price on Poshmark for $65 after only 2 days, and I made $40 on those. I have sold this style before pretty successfully. I actually found a pair of these at the bins once, and they weren't brand new, and they still sold really well. The second pair was more of a sandal style. They were called the Idra, and they were like a cream, like an off-white tan color. These ended up selling for $49 after only 8 days, and I made $28.88. So just from 2 items, I am already at like $69. So I'm over halfway through towards trying to make my money back on this haul. I obviously feel pretty good about that, and especially since they sold so quickly. Keep an eye out for Fly London. You can usually see that logo pretty prominently on the shoe somewhere, and especially on the bottom sole, there's usually a big fly for the Fly London logo. Next was one that was a little bit questionable in store, so I'm glad to see that it sold so successfully. This was a Roots cabin sweater. Roots I will pick up sometimes. It's Canadian brand. It's really high quality materials, but sometimes I'll leave it behind and sometimes I'll pick it up. This was specifically the cabin line, which from my research looks to be a little bit more highly desired, has a pretty good sell-through rate, so I did end up picking it up. This sold on eBay for $36 after only 7 days, and I ended up making $27.08. So I will say be careful with Roots, probably comp it, but if you see the cabin line, it might be worth picking up. This was also in really, really great condition, and I think they had it priced at like $6 or so in store. That moves us into a whole bunch of kids' clothes. As you know, I like going to the new racks anytime I go into my Goodwill store. And since I found so many good items on the new racks, I also then went over and checked the kids' racks to see if they had already put anything away. And between the 2 of those places, I had some really, really good stuff. So let me tell you about it. The first was a Smartwool 2-piece pajama set. It was these adorable gray. They had like wolves and bears and all of these outdoor animals on them. and 100% merino wool. Smart wool is such good quality. They were in really good condition. They seemed basically unworn. And these sold on Poshmark for $40. I had them listed for $45, and somebody accepted my 10% off offer with discounted shipping. And these sold in less than a day for me to make $27.61. These could certainly be marketed as pajamas. They could also certainly be marketed as like base layer outdoor wear. Like you could go hiking in these, you could take them camping, and of course just wear them as normal pajamas. I mentioned in a recent video that after picking these up and then looking at the comps at home, there was one additional pair of pants that didn't have the top to it at the store that I left behind because I'm trying to leave behind pajama separates. And after seeing comps of tops and bottoms and sets selling so well, I went back the next day and picked up another one, but I hadn't gotten to that haul yet. So I'm just now listing the bottoms of this same pajama set, and hopefully that does just as well also. Okay, next was a Janie and Jack pink knit dress. This was adorable. It was immaculate. It had cute little puff sleeves. And this ended up selling for $31. I think I listed it at $35, and that was a 10% off offer. Someone accepted also. This was listed a little bit longer, but still 69 days is a very quick sale for me. And I ended up making $18.09 just on a little girl's kids item. I like picking up Janie and Jack, but my absolute favorite category to sell is girls' dresses. They sell the best for me, they sell the fastest, and they sell for the most money. Another little girl's dress was this Tea Collection purple dress. Tea Collection is another brand for kids that I really enjoy picking up. This sold on eBay for $27.99. I had it listed for $34.99, and it sold outright with my 20% off sale that's always running. This one was only listed for 47 days, and I made $18.69. Also, with all these kids' clothes, they were in such good condition. This was another one that looked very unworn. You have to be really careful. Obviously, we have to be careful with all men's, women's, everybody, but especially with kids' clothes. We know that kids beat their clothes up a little bit, so I was very happy to find these all in such good condition. That moves us into our first unsold item, and it was this mini Bowden blue shirt. It is a really pretty blue velvet blouse, but it is a lot more basic than the other items I picked up. So I'm not surprised. This is one that hasn't sold. Hopefully it'll sell quickly. Velvet selling in summer. I was happy to see the purple one sell, but it did surprise me. I'm hoping that as we move into fall and winter, that this one will sell. It's a really pretty ice blue, and again, it's in fantastic condition. Next one, I was a bit surprised it did sell fast, because on any given day, this might be one that I would leave behind. The dresses at my store for kids are always marked at $3.99 unless they price them up for any reason. And this was one that like maybe I could leave behind, but since I was getting so many other kids items, I knew it would be easy to list and I could still sell it and make profit. So I grabbed it, and it was a gorgeous Zara gray 100% wool dress. That was another reason why I picked it up, is since it was a high quality material, I was more likely to pick it up because Zara is so saturated, women's, men's, kids, everybody. But this ended up selling on eBay for $18. That was an offer I accepted. I think I probably had it listed for $30, but again, since it's Zara, it's so saturated, I was happy to take the $18 offer. It was listed for 99 days, and I made $9.91, which for a Zara item, I am very happy with. Okay, the next one was my best clothing sale of the entire haul so far. Obviously, the Fly London booties were the best sale so far. I made $40 profit, but this little girl's purple dress, this was the very first clothing item I found, and I was like, I can feel it in the air. It's going to be a good day, and it ended up being a good day, especially in the kids' items. So this was a Belle by Alicia Bell dress. It was like a floral, very like prairie, cottagecore. And Alicia Bell, if you can find the women's adult dresses, I have not yet, but I have looked them up online. Those can sell even better, and this still sold fantastically. This sold on Poshmark for $55 after only 47 days, making me $39.61. So the Fly London shoes made me $40. So this like just squeaked under that. But I loved this so much. Like if this had been my size or my daughter's size, I certainly would have kept it. It is my favorite color. I've in my adult life, I've been saying pink is my color, but especially before now, purple has been my favorite color growing up. So I still love it. I love them both. Stunning. Okay, the next one that has not yet sold was this Crew Cuts black velvet dress. It has a really pretty like shimmer sparkle glitter on it. It's hard to pick up in the photos. I don't think it's terrible, but this is another one like the mini Bowden that I'm hoping as we move into fall and winter, when people are buying Christmas dresses, holiday dresses, they need things for photos, they need things for parties, that this will be one that sells hopefully up and coming. I think I have it listed for either $30 or $35 right now. Next, still in the kids line, is this mini Bowden colorful swim cover. It was rainbow stripes all over, again in immaculate condition for also being like a swim cover. I'm happy to say that this one sold very quickly also. It sold on Poshmark. I accepted a $20 offer after 24 days and I made $11.61. Also, just quick tangent, if you remember, I also found, I think it was also mini Bowden, a unicorn one of these, maybe in a bin strip, and that one also sold quickly too. I think also for $20 or $25. So I was excited about that. I did tag these as swim covers, but I also tagged them as hooded towels. That was actually a tip from one of you in the comments. So thank you, especially since we were moving out of summer. I was concerned that people might not be picking up as much swim stuff, but these would certainly be great for just after bath time at home. So I put all of those keywords in the listing. So tip, if you have something like this, especially in the non-summer seasons, add hooded towels, bath, things like that. Possibly my favorite pickup of the day were these Kiel James Patrick really gorgeous like holiday sweaters. I had never found this brand before. Again, if you can find this brand in adults, you're gonna do even better, but even the kids stuff I was thrilled with. These sold in Poshmark for a bundle of $65. So I have them marked as $32.50 each. Obviously, you can't actually do cents on Poshmark with a sale, but it's because they sold on a bundle. So I marked them both. One of them had a really pretty like deer print on it, and the other one had a really nice Fair Isle. Both also in such great condition. It was really fun for me that these sold together. I don't know if they're just for one child or maybe there's two children. I think one was like an 8 and one was a 10. So it could certainly be for two children, two twins, or maybe one kid that gets a really cool wardrobe. These also sold after only 8 days, and this was like back in April, so they sold in May. Obviously I wasn't necessarily expecting them to sell in the dead of summer. I guess actually in that point it was still technically spring. Sold after 8 days, and I made $21.61 each, so around $45 for that bundle sale. Next, also really happy to see these sold because they were a bit more basic. I picked up 2 Crew Cuts, so the J. Crew Kids line Crew Cuts corduroy skirts. One was green and one was brown. Again, I was buying so many kids stuff and I was like, let's go. We can get them listed. This is gonna be great. They're easy to photograph. They're easy because I don't have to measure, so they're easy to list. And the first one, the green one, sold on eBay. I accepted an $18 offer. It was listed for 118 days. So these actually both sold pretty recently, just in the last few weeks. Moving into fall makes total sense for corduroy and for brown and green, the color scheme there. So on that one, I made $10.59. And then the brown skirt sold on Poshmark. I accepted a $20 offer. I think I had them both listed for $30. And this one had sold just a few days before, after 114 days, and I made $11.61. Okay, moving on to the adult clothes. The first one, unfortunately, hasn't yet sold, and it was a Tori Richard silk blend shirt. It had like a really muted Hawaiian print. Tori Richard does a lot of Hawaiian resort wear, cruise, stuff like that. But the bolder, the better. And this was very muted. I knew that. I thought the silk would help it, but unfortunately it hasn't yet sold. And the longer it sits into, fall and winter, the longer it'll probably take because it's out of season. But again, people go on cruises, people go on vacations, people live in all climates. Fingers crossed that this one does get sold. That one, as well as these next two, I actually found on the putback rack. The other golden rule, so first golden rule is check the new rack. Second golden rule of thrifting is check the putback rack. And I picked up these Polo Ralph Lauren sleep pants, mostly because they were really cool, like pink green print. They were almost like a Madras style. I did use that keyword. I didn't, because they were only like 2 something, 3 something, because they were sleep pants. So I was like, I know I'm going to make money on these. I didn't even comp them. Do as I say, not as I do. And when I got home, I realized they are pretty saturated. Like there were a lot of these listed. So I knew they would sell, but I priced them accordingly. I think I priced them at like $30. So when I got a $20 off on Poshmark, I was happy to take it, knowing how saturated just these type of fleet pants were. The color was pretty unique though compared to others I was seeing. They sold after 78 days and I made $11.61. The last thing I picked up on the new rack that day was this Vineyard Vines really pretty tennis skirt. When you talk about bold, beautiful patterns, this was it. I loved the pattern. It was a really good size, and I also added tennis, golfing, walking, pickleball, all of those keywords. Put pickleball in anything you're putting in athletic because it's selling really well right now. This sold on Poshmark for $31. I had it listed for $35. That was a 10% off offer. Again, that my Posher VA sent out. I do use Posher VA to help share and send offers in my Poshmark closet. This one was only listed for 29 days and I made $18.09. Back over to the new racks, I picked up this Anthros Conversations blouse. They have the like Conversations line. I think this was like 29 to 52 or something, but it was black and it was absolutely gorgeous. It had like peacocks, like quails, maybe some sort of really exotic bird all over it. And this one sold on eBay for $29.99 because it sold to one of you that was, I think, keeping an eye out for it after the haul. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you love it. Thank you for the positive feedback. I'm pretty sure I remember seeing that. I really do appreciate that. That means the world to me. And since one of you grabbed it, it was listed, I think, less than one day, and I ended up making $20.96. Next has been a really solid seller, just bread and butter for me, and it's Abercrombie & Fitch denim. I picked up a pair of jean shorts. I accepted a $20 offer on Poshmark for them. They were only listed for 24 days, and I made $11.61. I'm going to keep picking up Abercrombie & Fitch denim when it's that new label, the new tag in it, because it's been selling pretty consistently for me. The next two, I am sad to say, have not yet sold. The first is this Todd Snyder gingham long sleeve button-down shirt. Todd Snyder is a really high-end brand. It retails for insane amounts. This one is probably just very, very basic. And I know that, but it was also the first time finding the brand. So I stand behind this purchase, but it just has not yet sold. Now the next one, if I were to go back and do this haul today, I would leave it behind because I've been leaving it behind more recently. And it was a Vineyard Vines Tucker shirt. I think it might have also been gingham. I'm trying to remember. But this is pretty basic and this is pretty saturated. So although I do stand behind picking up Vineyard Vines at Goodwill retail, I haven't been picking up men's button-down shirts. Maybe unless it was like a really big size or really cool material or something special, linen maybe. But I have passed on a lot of these types of shirts in my Goodwills recently. I've been seeing them a lot. So this one was probably a bad buy. Do I think it'll sell? Yes, but I probably didn't need to pick this one up. Next one I was very excited about because I don't find this brand very often. Actually, this might have been the first time I ever found it. And it was a Nick and Nora pajama set. So if you're not familiar with this brand, Nick and Nora makes really, really adorable printed pajamas. And I found the two-piece set. So they probably had it priced at like $5 something in store. These sold on eBay after only 4 days for $36. That was an offer I accepted. Now, honestly, I think I had these listed at $55 or $65. I probably could have held out, and I knew I could have held out for more if I had wanted to wait longer because it was like a French dessert. It's like it had macarons on it and all these different things. It was a good size. I think it was an extra large, so I knew there was a market out there for it, but honestly, I just wanted the quick sale because I still made a good profit on it, and I'm really trying to churn sales more quickly, so I accepted the $36 after 4 days, and I made $26.86. The next one was another one that I probably could have left behind. It was very basic. It was an LL Bean full zip fleece, but the reason I picked it up was because I recognized that the tag was vintage, because LL Bean has been having a moment with some of their vintage stuff, like their chore coats, some of their pants, denim, things like that. This probably just didn't hit the right category. Yes, vintage LL Bean can sell well. I don't know if just very basic full zip fleeces are one of the things that's gonna get the vintage people excited. So again, do I think it'll sell? Yes, but I don't think people are like dying to have this vintage fleece. We're moving into fall and winter, as I've been saying, so I'm holding out hope for it, but as of right now, it has not yet sold. Okay, so those were all of my 24 items. I am happy to report that at this point, 4 months in, 18 out of the 24 items have sold. So 6 more, that's 75%. I'm pretty happy with that, especially only 4 months in. If you remember when I was doing the what actually sold from my Thriftsmiths videos, you know, 4 months later, I wasn't always doing this well. So that probably means I'm being better about what I'm picking up. I'm pricing accordingly. I'm picking things with strong sell-throughs. I'm also continuing to learn, like I'm putting in my mind, hey, maybe don't pick up those vineyard vines. Hey, maybe don't pick up those LL beans. And then I'm going to continue to adjust as I move forward, as I keep shopping. So as a reminder, my total spent was $116.50 with a cost of goods per item of $4.39. So as of right now, I am in the profit. So I have made all that money back, and I'm in the profit $259.53 in the green with 6 items left to sell. So those next 6 will also just be pure profit. I took the cost of goods out for the entire haul, $259.53 at the 4-month mark. I'm very happy with that. So let me know, are these videos helpful? Because I'm thinking about doing Thriftsmiths in July, what actually solds. Probably in a month or 2, I would start doing those, but I don't want to do them if you guys would be bored with them. And then also, of the 6 that haven't sold, would you have picked them up? Do you think there may be bad buys that I should leave behind in the future? I like to know your thoughts because I learn from you guys literally every single video. One of you puts something in the comments that I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so smart. Why didn't I think of that? So thank you for that. Let's keep encouraging each other down there. Let's keep learning from each other down there. And with that, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a big thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Bye.